Hello everyone, I'm Ravel from CAYIN Technology. One of CAYIN's core competences is the development of digital signage solutions. Today, we are gonna bring digital signage alive to the retail application, which is also one of the major markets where digital signage has been and will still be mainstream and popular. Who is CAYIN Technology? Before starting, let's have a brief about CAYIN.
CAYIN Technology, professional digital signage solution provider. CAYIN Technology, since 2004, is a professional digital signage solution and software developer from Taiwan. By offering a complete portfolio of appliance-based digital signage solutions, CAYIN dedicates itself to being a reliable partner to clients worldwide and has successfully set up various applications globally. In order to best facilitate the deployment of its products, the company also provides tailored services to satisfy the ever-growing market demand for almost limitless applications. CAYIN Robusti solution brilliantly equips industrial-grade hardware and professional software to provide a professional and robust solution to users with diverse project needs. CAYIN Flexi Solutions serves as an all-in-one digital signage management system for all types of businesses and budgets. The different license options allow users to choose solutions that match their business requirements and budgets. We designed premium software to cover all you need. Meeting Post Plus is dedicated to fulfilling the versatile needs of any meeting room. Xpost, the software offers a combination of essential tools to create rich content. Super Reporter is the advanced reporting software dedicated to digital signage networks. Looking for digital signage? Look to us, we are CAYIN. We are here to help.
Digital signage is already very popular and can be used in a variety of applications such as outdoor LED advertisements, hospitality, transportation, banking, corporates, governments, and so on. So, is digital signage installed across so many different applications always the same? If not, what is special about digital signage in the retail application? One of its specialties is probably business analysis, especially for large retailers, such as shopping malls and department stores. Business analysis can also cover many things. People counting system is a good example. There are different people counting systems with different technologies. One of them was evolved from surveillance system, and surveillance system has been popular since even earlier, and is already widely installed in retail outlets. There are some people counting systems which are already very sophisticated and can accurately calculate the number of people entering, leaving, and staying in the retail outlets by the images of heads taken and analyzed by cameras deployed on site. If the cameras in retail are deployed with higher density, it is possible to further narrow down the analyzed areas of the people counting space to a floor, a shop, or even a booth or a shelf of products. Consequently, the analyzing result can be more accurately correspond to the number of people on a floor or any specific area. When a large number of such data of each area is collected, owners of the data are able to process different types of dynamic analysis. From the data, we know how many people at what time are in which area. If such data are all put together and observed along with the time continuously, then such data and analysis can be floor-wide or even building-wide and dynamic. Plus the factors of the audience profile, including the gender and age, and floor planner will have the chances to check whether the floor layout and design is good and how it can be improved or achieve particular objectives. After the business analysis is done based on the people counting data, the retailers can more objectively and neutrally decide their strategies of floor or space planning. To make a try, check the result and change and check it again. You don't have to wait until the end of a financial period, but can do it on monthly, weekly, or even daily basis. Yes, if the floor manager wants, every single day he or she can process any changes on the floor layout, according to the business analyzing result, and also corresponding any scheduled marketing or promotional events. Furthermore, because digital signage has also been installed on every floor and its effectiveness is also related to the people flow, This business data will not only help the retailers learn about the effectiveness of each digital signage content, but also directly assist them to produce corresponding content strategy of the digital signage. All of these are all done based on the business analysis. On the other hand, there must be some control of the people volume regulated by the government for the concerns of building safety or disease or pandemic prevention. It is also quite easy for digital signage to retrieve data of the real-time people counting information as a content and a display, including the building capacity of the maximum number of people and the current number of people on site. There are a lot of different retailers, from large ones to small ones. Because such business analysis usually requires experts or even a team to work on, such digital signage system incorporating with people counting system for business analysis are mainly adopted by large retailers, especially chain retailers. Nevertheless, people of today may also expect to adopt more AI-based analysis instead of HI or so-called human intelligence analysis to make it more affordable, more automatic, and even more suitable for medium to small retailers. Finally, we can let such business analysis, like the people counting system, be separated from the digital signage system, so that we have displays and players for digital signage, and the cameras and the powerful computers for the calculation work for face recognition. Nevertheless, people may think, why not integrate the players with the recognition computer and also assemble together the cameras and digital signage? Yes, why not? Especially if the number of digital signage, the players and the cameras and the computers are all the same or relevant. A quality well-designed industrial computer can satisfy all the needed calculation works and also make it an integrated solution instead of using more different components. This should be quite normal for system integrators to think about if they target to retail solutions and after they gain more experience in such digital signage application in retail. Here are some examples of our retail cases. Another advantage or benefit for digital signage in retail is also related to more integrated features and functions. For example, the environment control. We know there are a lot of different players on the market, from the most expensive ones to the cheapest ones. There is a huge gap, so many potential users may underestimate the differences and think a player has nothing special but playing a video. It's just a player. However, a professional digital signage player such as CAYIN SMP 2300 is not necessarily being just a player, but can also be versatile for various tasks at its position. For example, if someone wants to make use of a player for an IoT edge equipment, why not? Because many of them are already deployed at the front end of applications, which means they are very close to the point of purchase and the buyers. We can say many of these players have strategic locations and positions. If someone wants to do event processing, image recognition, machine learning, or other high-value AI, why not make use of these players, especially if they are already powerful enough? For chain retail projects, for each site, we also often deploy a so-called site server, which is located between the main server and all players, for sharing the loads of work and internet connection of the main servers. For example, CAYIN CMS SE server can also be used as a site server for CAYIN SMP players. The site server is also located at front end of the application, right near the point of purchase and the buyers. So they are also very suitable to be used in different AI as IoT edge equipment like players, especially if we need much better system capacity and resources for calculation works, thanks to the fact that users can decide the hardware spec of the site server by themselves. Coming back to the player, there are very simple SoC-based players on the market for simple playback functions. If we adopt professional industrial computers to be the player hardware, then there will be much better flexibility for them to interact with its peripherals or even the environment with its variable connectors. Similar to industrial control, these interactions can be bidirectional. When data flow out, the player can send commands to other devices, the peripherals, the environments, or sometimes some devices far away from the site. When data flow in, the player can monitor or collect data and even let the data trigger a particular content, a playlist, or a schedule. About data monitoring or collection, it is possible for the player to retrieve various data. It could be the people counting data as mentioned earlier, could be inventory data stored in an ERP system, could be composition of the air in space for the quality status, could also be any emergent events such as earthquake alert messages. While in Taiwan, for instance, earthquakes are regarded important natural disasters and often take place. And people living in Taiwan or other seismic zones really need such emergent information. After the digital signage players receive the data and the information retrieved from outside, in the reverse way of data flow, they can send commands to control the peripherals, such as the digital signage. For example, tuning up the volume if the environment is too loud, or tuning it down if the environment is quiet, or tuning the displays brighter or darker according to the environment's actual brightness. Such controls can also be casted to any other peripherals or furniture. We can send control commands through the player interface for initiating or adjusting light, sound, or any spatial effect. Besides such controls, of course, we can also decide how to specifically and correspondingly trigger to play a content, a playlist, or a schedule. Earlier, I just mentioned that our players can receive earthquake alert information. Imagine that when an earthquake happens and our player receives its alert, we will definitely trigger to play evacuation guideline and related information. Actually, in many digital signage tenders, such evacuation triggering feature is required. It just needs a very simple connection between the fire alarm system and the digital signage solution. Taking CAYIN digital signage solution, for instance, we also provide an SDK for interfacing with such content triggers. Such monitoring and control functions are quite common for many system integrators of industrial computers. Digital signage in retail actually has more and more chances to integrate more peripherals, such as touch and touchless interactions, QR code scanning, voice content trigger, payment, or finance device or dispenser of disinfectant, such as alcohol for COVID sterilization. Simple media players for retail is not a business for industrial computer system integrators, but digital signage integrated with different monitoring and control functions can be. Integrated digital signage solutions are not yet widely businesses for a simple media player, so it's fair for us to make efforts on adding more added value. Here we have more retail cases of CAYIN technology. Today I'm going to introduce to you a very interesting technology called facial detection and show you how facial detection can be integrated with CAYIN digital signage. CAYIN technology is dedicated to the development and the manufacture of digital signage players and the servers, both including software and hardware. So for example, this is one of our player model, and it connects to the screen, a digital signage. All the content here are prepared in advance and then sent from the player to the screen. And then normally, typically, it shows the looping contents without any stop. The problem is that no matter who's standing in front of the screen, it always shows the same contents. And the facial detection provides a very good opportunity for the sponsors or advertisers to choose the target audience they want and show the corresponding contents. A facial detection system is a technology which can receive the facial data and analyze the facial data according to the gender, age group, and the number of audience, and send the data to the system. For this demo, we need a few different characters, including a young lady, a young man, a little boy, and an elderly man. So when the elderly man passes by in front of the camera detects his face and will show exactly the content we prepare for him, according to his gender, age, and the number of audience. And same for the young lady. The camera sends her face data to the system and will trigger the corresponding contents. And the same for the gentleman. The system will trigger to the contents exactly prepared for him. And then finally, the little boy. We also have the special contents, including all the toys, for him. And if the camera detects more than 2 people, we can also prepare contents corresponding to 2 or more people. Like right now, we have a couple here. When the couple passes by in front of the camera, it will trigger the contents prepared exactly for them. So this shows to you how facial detection technology can be integrated and trigger the CAYIN digital signage products. Actually, we can also support different third-party facial detection system. But today, what we show to you is the system from QNAP NAS.
Finally and definitely, we can't avoid talking about face recognition while talking about digital signage in retail. Face recognition integrated with digital signage for retail applications has been more and more popular in recent years because of several reasons. First, face recognition technology has been improved a lot, especially while many smartphones already integrate with this feature, which helps this function get more mature for its accuracy, and the people also get familiar with it, and probably does also with less concern. Next, using face recognition to trigger digital signage content is an interaction. Because interaction can help audience of digital signage receives more relevant or even tailor-made content, it has been an important trend for digital signage since quite a while. Moreover, face recognition is a kind of interaction which doesn't require physical touch. For face recognition, many people already hear about it and may directly associate to a kind of content trigger. Briefly speaking, when the system detects the audience in real time, and as soon as the audience information such as gender, age, or number of audience is detected, it will trigger to play different content respectively. This is also what CAYIN digital signage solutions and some other systems already can do. Therefore, compared to touchscreen and other physical interactions, face recognition will be more popular during the pandemic and the post-pandemic periods. Finally, face recognition provides a more convincing technology and a methodology to solve a long-term problem, which is audience measurement. For the effectiveness and the value of advertisements in every TV program, broadcast or newspaper, or the value of a content channel, we have AC Nielsen to judge and determine. However, we don't have an AC Nielsen for digital signage. This has been a problem for corporates and digital signage advertisers to decide the value of advertisements on each channel and how much the cost should be charged to be fair and reasonable. The good news is that face recognition technology provides a potential approach to decide the value of the airtime by directly checking whether a content is correctly viewed. There are different ways that face recognition companies develop to decide the effectiveness and value. For example,
They can check the direction of the audience eyeballs. If they judge and find the eyeballs stay on the contents for a certain period of time, say 4 or 5 seconds, then they can claim and count it as a valid view. After the end of the period, they can directly count how many valid views are there for each content and use the data as a base to charge the advertisers. Because of this, face recognition integration with digital signage has been an important element for advertisements in retail. CAYIN digital signage solutions have been deployed in many retail projects. For the integration of face recognition in Taiwan, there is an interesting application for 7-Eleven, which is also the largest chain retailer in Taiwan and has been using CAYIN solution. The second largest chain retailer in Taiwan is Family Mart. CAYIN also ever deployed its digital signage solution on 3,000 screens for them long time ago. We had the pleasure to work together with the media of the two retailers for many years. Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, has many retail outlets and is very famous for their early and advanced adoption of digital signage for retail. Our partners there have deployed many projects making use of different integration of third-party systems and solutions for vitalizing the installations. As a quick summary, such collection of data, controls with commands, and content triggers with different interactions can help create vivid digital signage applications and easily differentiate from other simple playback functions of media players. Because many retailers face severe competition from their rivals selling the same or so-called me-too products, any differentiations, such as on digital signage, as long as they can help create a little bit more advantages, will be welcomed. Nevertheless, today is still far from the potential creativity that we can expect and have applied to the retail digital signage. Not to mention, it's still far from the saturation of digital signage in the retail application. Just taking face recognition, for example, even on the premise of less privacy concern in some markets, what if we add face recognition integrated digital signage with image processing, big data, machine learning, or other high-value AI calculation? Like, what if we can more effectively generate a successful content strategy automatically and adapt it to cope with the daily changes in every part of a retail outlet? That should be quite attractive to all retailers, I assume. Maybe some AI developers in this market are interested to work toward this direction. Now, let's check out some more retail cases. Digital signage applications are combinations of technologies. However, it covers a very wide spectrum, from very simple to very sophisticated, from budget products to variable solutions. I would say that they are all presentations of technologies. If high-tech represents for high value, I believe most system integrators look forward to creating solutions and services with high added value. On the other hand, retail industries represent for an important application in the market of digital signage. There, different products, from the cheapest ones to the most valuable ones, are all needed to answer the different demands in the same market. Good solutions require good software and good hardware, and that's what we tend to do together with IEI. There's a saying in digital signage industry: content is king, but technologies build up the kingdom. The value of digital signage is still to be further discovered CAYIN Technology has the great honor to work together with IEI and other technology partners to help build up the kingdom of and for every retailer and every customer. This is all what we would like to share with you today with our greatest pleasure. Thank you for your precious time.